Hey guys, it's me, the Hormone Monster. Welcome to the Frustrated Grad Podcast.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Zach Hughes, the black dude with bad
Did
news.
you say you're the hormone monster?
Yeah, you would only know that reference if you've watched the new cartoon on Netflix created by Nick Kroll called Big Mouth. It's a cartoon all about puberty. But anyway,
Very obscure.
yeah, I'm, I'm going to welcome my co-host, writer, movie fan.
You don't have to welcome.
Well, you're here. You may not be welcome, but you're here. Ladies and gentlemen, the guy, Tony Hoffman.
The man, the big dog
Yeah,
in his yard.
yeah. This is the Hoffman Empire.
Jesus.
So what's going on, Tony?
Uh, the same old, same old. Lots of big video game week for me. Was able to get a SNES classic
Yeah,
on
I saw that.
Friday. Yeah, on Friday, and I've been playing Super Mario World. I played
All
it
right,
yesterday.
all
It's
right.
unlike the first three Mario games for the NES. Like this is one that I haven't played as often as those
Okay.
simply because like it's you don't have like SNES like emulators like you do, or you don't have like it's not as available as the Mario games are, on like
Yeah,
different virtual consoles and
yeah.
what have you. So yeah, it's almost like playing a new game sort of.
That's cool. So
But it's
with
all coming back to me. All the where things are and where to find the secrets.
that's cool. So now that you have the SNES Classic, did you ever get the regular NES Classic?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So with those new consoles or new retro consoles, are the games like fitted to widescreens or are they just like a square?
There, that's like one of the selling points of it is that you can adjust the screen. It's 720
Okay.
HDMI.
All right. So it takes up the whole screen now. So that's
They look fantastic from like a visual standpoint on like HD TV.
cool.
It's
So
very cool. I think we talked about this a little bit. Like the NES Classic is, it's classic games and everything, but this one, the SNES, that's the one that I grew up with. And
yeah.
it's,
Yeah, I have way more stuff on there. Like if I looked at their list of games, they're like, yeah, I played all of these. Because
exactly,
it's more
exactly.
in my wheelhouse. But I don't know if I have the patience. There's some of these people who've gone hunting for this that I've seen.
It was easier to get.
Okay.
I went to Target like about a quarter to 8 in the morning on Friday, and it was a line of like maybe like 60 or 70 people, but we all got one. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well, it's pretty good.
like I assume that Nintendo is learned their lesson after last year's debacle, where they underestimated their beloved product, their own fucking product.
Yeah, it's like they sold it based on like, hey, you know what people will love? This thing. It's like, you know what? We shouldn't make too many of them because people might not love it that much. So like, well, which is it?
I read that like they assumed that the interest in it was going to be like how they have like those Atari flashback and Sega flashback uh,
Yeah.
games and stuff. But I guess they assumed that it wasn't going to be it was going to be around sort of like the interest that people have in those, so they didn't make as much of them.
Yeah, but
But
the thing is with those, they don't go away at all. Like they're
exactly,
still like you just find them in Target whenever.
and like
Uh,
unlike Nintendo, like Sega, like and Atari, they didn't make those. Those were made by like
yeah,
a
like
third party company.
retro whatever is the I forgot the name of it, but it's the ones where you can like put multiple cartridges in for different systems. But you know, they
Yeah.
people love Nintendo. You gotta
Hey, did you know
understand
that
it.
Mario was like when Mario got on Yoshi, he rode him and enslaved him. He was punching him in the back of the head to make his tongue
Really?
stick out. I didn't know that.
Oh, now that I think about the motion of like when he does it. That I do remember it looking like he was punching him. So
I
that's
think that
pretty
like because
messed
I
up.
read the story by like some of the programmers, and they said that, like that was the originally that was the like the motion, but I think that they tried to like clean it up a little by saying that he was pointing
Like
to a spot
now.
for Yoshi to exactly to stick his tongue out because when you look at like the little animated graphics and like the instruction manual, they show Mario pointing and
Okay.
like he's telling Yoshi where to stick his tongue out and stuff. But when you look at the little sprite of in the
Yeah,
game,
he just got a balled up fist all the
he's
time. That's why.
bastard.
I mean, I guess he was just maybe in Japan or wherever else they call him Punch Man because he like when he jumps up to hit the blocks, he's punching those actually. Because I thought he was hitting them with his head, but it turns out he's just punching them. And now he's punching Yoshi in the back of the head, so he got some real punching issues.
Punching him in the back of the head. He's like sacrificing him when he's like making like jumps and stuff like
Yeah,
to
it's like, you know what, Yoshi, we're gonna have to separate right here, midair. I need a little bit more distance. Bye forever. Uh,
either either you or me.
yeah, this time it's gonna be you. Um, but yeah, Mario's
So
not a good guy. That's what we've learned here.
as we learned today,
Yeah.
I did not see the big movie Blade Runner 2049 simply because I've never seen the original Blade Runner and I really have no interest in seeing the other film.
From what I'm hearing about it, I haven't watched too many trailers or anything for it, but it sounds interesting. I still don't really know what it's about, but I'm probably gonna end up going to see it without seeing the original. But
No, it
we'll see.
looks. I mean, it looks it looks interesting from a visual standpoint, but if you're into that sort of like I guess I wouldn't say pretentious, but kind of like just that whole like the who are we as humans and
Yeah, well, it's kind of
um,
like a high concept action uh, thriller type of movie. Seems like that's the type of thing they're going for. Um, I
have you
did see
seen the
something
original?
today. No, I'm. I mean, the stuff I'm hearing about this one makes me interested in seeing checking it out, but I don't feel like it's necessarily a prerequisite for this movie.
Yeah.
But I did watch something this week that
Ooh,
another
what was it?
remake that was at the theaters, and people uh, I would be generous to call it mixed responses, but I watched Tom Cruise's The Mummy this week.
You
Uh,
finally saw it?
yeah. Ah! So I can't remember. Did you ever go see it yourself?
Fuck no.
Okay. Because I heard just like what everybody else was saying about it. But you know what? I have a slight
Yo, you
confession
loved it.
to make.
Yeah,
No,
I bet you did.
not quite. Um, I thought it was fun, but I'll say that with the caveat of being like I was watching it while I was working, so I wasn't paying complete attention to it. So any parts that people might have gotten bored through, I was probably like working on a spreadsheet at that time. But um,
Did it have the problem of like instead of actually being like its own movie, it was too busy setting up shit
it definitely
for
was a
this?
long stretch of that. They had their
God,
like hall of exposition, like, hey, here's the hand of the creature from the Black Lagoon. So I guess if you do ever see him, he's gonna be minus one hand. But then there was the whole thing with Dr. Jekyll, aka Nick Fury. Um, that stuff was dumb.
Nick Jekyll. Yeah,
I think if you separate all like the universe building stuff, it's kind of a fun like action uh adventure movie. And I did
but
like the
that's what the original Mummies movies were with Brendan
yeah with
Fraser.
Brendan
Why
Fraser.
why do we need to have this?
We didn't necessarily like I look at this if you take off the universe building stuff, it's just like freshening it up. It's like why do we need another Spider-Man? Well, number one, they're gonna lose the rights or whatever. But it's just I look at it like that. If they weren't trying to do all this extra stuff, which is probably never gonna happen anyway. But like so looking at just the movie on its own, I did like that, like how much of a dick that Tom Cruise's character was. Like, cause he like there's a moment where he's about to run away from the mummy, gets in this van, and he just drives off. This woman, she was like right at the door. She was running with him, and he just drives off away from her, and then he doesn't actually stop to let her in. She just catches up with the car. Uh, so I like that. I like that how selfish he was until the end, because it's Hollywood. But
So who are you rooting for in the movie? Like I read like when the movie came out that that was one of the issues
yeah,
was
there's
that.
nobody really to root for because everybody's kind of bad people. Even like the Shield organization, Prodigium, because but that's the funny thing about that is the reason that the same reason that people will say there's no like real protagonist, that everybody's kind of bad guys, is one of the things that I liked about it actually. Because okay, Cliff's Notes version, the mummy, the evil mummy's original plot was she was going to bring the god of death, Set, aka their version of the devil or whatever. She's gonna bring him to life on Earth by possessing some human man with his soul or whatever. So she tries to do that in the beginning. They stop her and she gets mummified. So she breaks out. So Shield, in this whatever they want to call it, their solution is like, oh, they messed up back in the day. We're gonna let Set occupy your body, Tom Cruise, and we're just gonna kill you. That's how we're gonna solve the problem. And I like the idea that they were just like, well, we're gonna do what she wants, but we're gonna kill you afterwards, and that cleans
And
everything up.
I read that like in the end of the movie he does that. He lets Seth possess his body, and that's the kicking off point of this whole
Yeah,
like
he becomes the
franchise.
mummy. Although it's that part to me wasn't really clear because he stabs himself with the magic thing that does the thing. But I don't know if that actually made Set occupy his body because, like, I guess he has power over life and death. So I guess he does have the soul of Set, but it wasn't like exactly how they thought it was gonna work. I don't know. It was kind of weird. It wasn't explained well.
I
But
just realized we're spending minutes talking about a movie that came out last year that bombed horribly.
yeah, but that's all I have to say about it. But even with that, my confession being that I thought it was fun. I feel like it was a strong 2.75 out of 5, or a low 3, but
And
a fun 3.
I'm glad that I didn't see it because there will not be another entry into the dark universe.
Yeah, if you don't want to go to the movies, which you can't go to the movies and see it, then Go Movies is a good alternative. That's all I'm
I
gonna
was gonna
say.
say because I think I saw it was like 9.99 on Blu-ray on like Amazon or something like that.
Yep, yeah, that's what I paid. Sure did. Anyway, moving on.
Did you? I saw Inhumans Friday.
Oh, I,
It was on
I haven't seen it
ABC.
yet. The weird thing about it is that it was canceled before it even debuted. And
I don't think that's not official. That was just some website
okay, well,
that
I hope
unconfirmed.
hopefully it's not true, but
It wouldn't surprise me.
it kind of fit in it kind of fit with that story to me, the fact that they were like, you know what, we're actually going to premiere this on a Friday, because if you know ABC, they move shows to Friday when they're ready to murder them.
That's
That's
the
what they
best
did with
spot.
the sitcom Neighbors. That was the thing once
Yeah.
upon a time. It was a That's been a bad spot for ABC. So premiering it on a Friday makes that story seem real, but I guess
I
we'll
mean,
see.
like nowadays with TV, I mean, it doesn't matter as
Yeah,
it
nobody's
did back in
watching
the
it when it
day.
airs live anyway.
Yeah, exactly, because people aren't watching TV. I mean, regardless of what, like, there is no like prime time,
Yeah, must
prime
see TV.
slot or anything like that. So, but in Hume, like, it really doesn't matter what day of the week it's on because it was pretty terrible. And it's kind of
Oh,
sad that all the critics are kind of right about.
I wanted them to be wrong. I still haven't watched the premiere yet. I'm still interested, oddly enough, but you know,
I was just interested to see just how crappy it was, and yeah, it's just it's like. bad like royal intrigue at the beginning before
Okay.
they come to Earth. They were living on the moon in some invisible kingdom, the
Ooh.
Inhumans and
So did
Medusa and her terrible hair.
so do they actually confirm the whole moon landing was a hoax because they would have run into their lost city if they actually landed on the moon?
No, but like the way it was set up, it was some sort of like cloaking device thing that
Okay.
covered it up or some shit. It's
So if the
I
cloak
was just I was just entranced by the wonderful dialogue to
okay.
notice what was happening.
You're really selling it for me right now. Um so I'm trying to think there was something else that premiered this week.
The
Uh
Gifted.
Gifted. I didn't watch that either. I've been
I completely forgot
yeah, they
that was
like
going on.
Fox is not really good about promoting shows. That's what I've noticed. Is that because I don't feel like they have. I mean, I guess maybe if you watch FX all the time, then there would be some secondary advertising, but I just don't see a lot of promotion for Fox shows most of the time. And Gifted was not one I had a lot of anticipation for to begin with because it just seemed
Really?
like. I mean, X-Men is sold on like the characters. It's not just about like, hey, I'll also a hook to it is like, hey, here are all these cool characters who have all these cool powers, and they're freaks and outcasts, and the government hates them. But like, Gifted is sold just on that second point, like, hey, these are a bunch of freaks and outcasts, but there's no cool characters yet. Nobody has like
I
flashy
want to
outfit or
see
anything.
like a bunch of humans with mutants with cool characters that fight, bad guys and go on missions and
You're not gonna
shit.
see that. You're just gonna see them running away from regular ass humans who are shooting at
Yeah,
them, probably.
some like puberty, adolescent, like high school bullshit, and like
Yeah.
that's what it sounds like.
And just like that, and there's also that other one. Was it Cloak and Dagger, which is on Freeform, formerly ABC
Yeah,
Family? To me, those seem
freeform.
too similar for my liking. like,
Yeah.
like here's a mutant love story or whatever the hell they're supposed to be. Um, so yeah, I feel like there was there was always these arguments about superhero fatigue whenever the movies would come out, but I feel like they're getting to that saturation point on TV before they or even getting to it in the movies. With just this fall season is gonna be like, okay, we're gonna wring you dry and see how much enthusiasm you have left for these superheroes after this. Especially when you take into account all the people who also watch like all the DC superhero shows. That's
Hmm.
gonna get kind of worn out.
Hey, I saw that the Scarecrow is on Gotham this season. Did you see that,
No,
or have you given
you
up
see
on
this? You
Gotham?
hear about this? Um, I haven't given up. I'm just behind. Like I'm behind on a lot of shows now. Like shows that I actually really enjoy, like Preacher. The finale was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I haven't caught up to that yet. But
I've watched none of season two.
season 2 is nuts. Like if you remotely enjoyed season 1, then season 2 is like so much better. It's like
Nice.
nonstop. People selling a fraction of their soul for $100,000. There's a that cowboy dude comes and just blows everyone's heads off.
I love it.
It's a lot
Blood
of
and gore.
yeah. It's pretty awesome. I'm trying to think. There was something else. Oh, we see Ass Face. We see what's going on with him in hell, and he makes friends with Hitler, and then
That seems appropriate.
very soon after they're not friends anymore, and
Oh.
you wouldn't believe which one of them is bullying the other. It's a very interesting season. Uh, this season. I hope they come back soon because like I was lukewarm on it the first season, and I'm like I've been fully into this season. Every episode is better than the last for me.
So much TV.
Yeah, we're at peak TV, and it's
That's they said.
no sign of slowing down.
Stranger Things is coming back. On the 27th?
I'm
I think.
excited for that. That's the weird thing is like some shows are just like I'm excited for them, but then I watched the first episode of the premiere. Like, okay, I can wait for that another week. But like Stranger Things, I know I'm just probably gonna watch it all in a weekend. Um, it's just like that's just it's become a thing. Like that's the association I have with Netflix. Like, yes, again, another one and another one.
How
Um,
many episodes was season one again? It was like it didn't
I
reach
don't know
double
if it
digits,
was.
did it?
I'm not sure. I feel like it was like either 8 or 10, but
Yeah.
let me check. Yeah, because I know it felt short to me.
I hope they stick to that number for season two.
Yeah,
Less is more, as they say.
yeah, because I feel like um, I wish a lot of like actual cable shows would adopt that more often because
I
that's
wish
like
network shows would adopt that
oh
more often.
absolutely
Like
they do like 24 episodes like
that
that's the
is too
difference.
much.
Yeah, that's the difference between Agents of Shield and Agent Carter. Like Agents of Shield had like 24, 26 episodes and like okay it was good at this point and then you could stop watching,
You
but
think
it's like
about like even like your favorite shows in your lifetime. You think about like even in like a full season, there's a good chunk of just like filler episodes that
yeah it's like
they
oh
could have
you
done
know what
less of.
you could skip that one.
Yeah, like they should just have the model where they have a show run like maybe 13, 14 episodes, and then it goes away, and then you bring on a new show, 13, 14 episodes, and that's the end of your TV season.
That's the weird thing is that they plan them out like that, but it never really goes that way. Like they have replacement shows that they pick up and they usually cancel them very quickly, but they have shows to be like, okay, when this ends or if this one gets canceled, then we'll swap it out for this one, but they don't ever really do that. They just they either go all in or all out. It's just like, okay, we're going to cancel this one after the first episode or we're going to let it run until nobody cares anymore.
Or what about the shows that like people like after they've aired them for like maybe a month, and then they go away for like a winter
Oh, I
hiatus
hate
or
that. Like
bullshit. And by when it comes back, no one cares. And people forgotten about it.
yeah, like Fox and NBC, I feel like are the worst culprits of that. Like, I'm trying to think, what was I know Superstore. I think they had a long break, and then they came back. Like after their first season, they came back with their Olympics episode, which was technically out of continuity because, like, I think like in the season I think in the season 1 finale like everybody went on strike and then they came back after a break
And
and
they're
then
working again.
yeah and they were all doing like stuff relating to the Olympics. I'm like wait what happened? And then I looked online about it. It's like oh this is I guess technically they said you could just look at this as a standalone adventure out of continuity. I was like, wait, does it make sense? And then they went back to being on strike the next episode. I was like, all right,
I
whatever.
like I like Superstore. I like
Yeah, it's funny.
Superstore and The Good Place. I'm
I
not getting
love
into
The
The Good
Good
Place.
Place.
Yeah.
I've watched the premiere. I haven't watched the one from this week, but that show is like if there were ever like shows they're like, okay, they're sold based on their premise alone, and a lot of those fall flat. I feel like they hooked me with the premise, and then they exceeded my expectations when I watched it.
I have to go back to season one because I haven't seen most of it.
Oh, that's there's
Yeah,
it's fun, and there's a really fun twist.
yeah, I already know.
Yeah, but just how that all plays out is funny, and like how everything's falling apart for the Ted Danson character. He's trying to torture these people unsuccessfully. But yeah, I was looking up Stranger Things. It was 8 episodes. So yeah, I know I felt like it
Yeah.
wasn't enough, but like
So it's like
that's the way you want
if
to
you
feel.
haven't seen it, yeah, you can catch up on it quickly.
Yeah, less than 8 hours because they're not like an hour each, but it's a fun watch. Um, there's a lot of stuff coming to Netflix in October. Because Stranger Things is at the end of the month, right?
Yeah,
It's like
27th.
yeah, it's
Time for
right
Halloween.
before Halloween. That's what everybody focuses on in October, and I don't appreciate that because October is my birthday
Nobody
month.
cares about your birthday.
It's Oktoberfest. They should care about it. It's a celebration.
Who the fuck is that?
He is the one. He is the chosen one. He's the black dude with bad news. Recognize. I'm
Bad news.
I'm combining Bad News Barrett and John Cena's gimmicks. I'm Zach Hughes. Recognize. But anyway,
I'm trying to see like what original content is coming to Netflix. Mostly just movies and like comedy specials and
yeah, I wish there was a little more description because what the hell is 88 minutes? Is it like a Netflix version of 60 minutes? Are they gonna have instead of Oprah Winfrey, who's joined 60 Minutes, they're gonna have Hoda Kotb. I don't know.
I'm trying to think. Was that a movie that came out?
88 minutes.
I'm trying to.
I know
I
there's
think vaguely.
I know there's 48 hours, 127 hours.
Oh, that's
I'm trying to think of minutes.
it's like some shitty movie. 88, 88 is like some shitty movie with Al Pacino from 2008.
Oh, well, hooray!
Bad.
It's on Netflix today. Can't
Yeah,
wait to watch
exactly.
that.
I won't be watching.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for
Clever
highlights.
Man season 2.
Wait, Clever Man.
Clever Man. Is that a cartoon for kids? I assume. Or
Clever Man. I think is that the one I'm thinking about? I think that's the one that's like created by Stan Lee or something. Or I might be thinking of something else. Clever Man. I believe that's some kind of
Clever
Stan
Man.
Lee thing. Or no, I'm thinking of Lucky Man. I think that's Stan Lee's thing. But I don't know what Clever Man is.
Mindhunter season 1. Ring a bell?
I'm so excited for that. What is this?
Super Monsters
Okay.
season 1.
Oh, Don't Be a
Patton
Menace to
Oswalt
South
has
Central.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's
I was
the
like,
one.
hey, maybe I'll I get bored and check it out.
Yeah, it's hilarious. His father is
Patton Oswalt
younger
has
than him.
a new Netflix special.
I wonder if he's going to talk about everything. Let me see. Eagle versus Shark. Don't know what that is. Eyes Wide Shut. Ghost Patrol.
Nice one, shut. Hey, Judah Friedlander has a comedy special on the 28th.
He's the world champion. Did you know that?
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skimming through this, I'm not seeing like anything that's like jumping out. I guess it says when you do find a Netflix original, they let you know on this list. Netflix original in all caps. Okay, so I'm just gonna look for that stuff. So Rodney Carrington fans, get ready, because he's got some comedy coming for you on third.
Comedy?
I think he's a
Question
comedian.
mark?
Yeah, I'm not.
Cars 3 is going to be on Netflix. Or
Cars-
on Amazon, rather.
Okay, Cars 3. Does that one come out
Yeah.
yet?
Yeah, they came out during the summer, right?
Oh, I totally missed it because I remember seeing all the trailers for it looking like an extra dark version of Cars, but I didn't realize it came
Yeah.
out. They must have not made too much of an impact because it's like gone already. I totally missed it.
No.
Uh,
That's on Amazon, by the way, which I don't have, so. Yeah.
I have it for I have it for another 9 days. Actually, my Prime expires on my
Get on
birthday. I'm gonna order everything I want for the year. Chris Brown fans, which I am not, then you can look forward to something called "Welcome to My Life" from him.
Some behind the scenes of this abusive fuck.
Yeah, like this is the real story behind when I
Follow
beat up
him.
my girlfriend. There's nothing good coming
Girls
on.
Trip on October the 3rd on Amazon. There you
Oh,
go.
Amazon. Okay. Then I have to hurry up and watch that again, so I can relive the joy of the Essence Festival. So I can feel like I was actually there. You almost feel like you can touch Maxwell's hand. There's nothing good coming out on my birthday, I've noticed. Like Skyjacker's Tale is I don't know what that is, and Christina P. Mother Inferior. I have no idea what that is, but whatever.
The Emoji Movie is available on October the 10th on Amazon.
Hooray for me. That's a hell of a way to spit in my breath. I'm glad it's my Prime is going to expire on that day because keep that Emoji Movie far away from me. 1922, the new Stephen King property is coming to Netflix on October 20th. I saw a trailer for that this week. It looks pretty good, pretty creepy. The Day I Met El Chapo.
El Chapo.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like the highlight of October for me is going to be
Stranger
27th,
Things.
Stranger Things. Yeah, because I'll explore further to see if anything else tickles my fancy or jumps out at me. But right now, it's all about Nick Kroll's Big Mouth. That cartoon it's pretty raunchy. It's about puberty and see hairy phalluses and talking lady parts. It's very interesting.
Sounds very wacky.
Yeah, it's fun.
You
If
were
you're a fan of the Kroll Show, you'll notice a lot of voices on here, and the comedy is similar.
I found it kind of hit or miss.
The last season of Kroll Show I felt like was the best. Like, uh, it started off kind of slow for me, but the last season made me wish they had another season because he really hit his stride right at the very
It
end.
just seemed like whenever I would buy it on the old clicker, he would be like in drag, and I find that men in drag to be kind of lazy and
I
not
feel
very
like
funny.
I feel like their I forgot what their the job was in that sketch. They were like PR people, but publicity. That was the sketch. Publicity. It's like our names. Uh, I thought that was funny, especially the episode where Liz, one of the Liz's, reveals she's pregnant. But or also when her niece Denise visited. But it's not for everybody.
Her niece Denise.
Like, where's my niece Denise? Anyway,
You were mentioning that your Amazon Prime membership is going away.
yeah,
Something else that's
my student
going
membership.
away in 2019 is the Wii Shop from Nintendo.
Will anyone notice? Is the question.
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, people are
If you're
still
still,
playing a Wii.
you gotta hurry up and use those Wii points.
Yeah, sorry to see it go, but I wouldn't have known otherwise. I mean, so is that the same shop that's connected to the Wii U? Are those people also going to be cut off?
Let's see here. It says Nintendo will shut down the Wii Shop channel on January 30th, 2019, marking the end of an era for the service that came online for Wii consoles on December 2006. The shutdown will happen gradually. Users can still add Wii points until March 26th of
Why would you?
2018. Who the fuck? Additionally, at some point, Nintendo hasn't put an exact date on it yet. You also won't be able to re-download previously purchased Wii and Virtual Console games or the Wii System Transfer tool to move files to the Wii U. Nintendo
Hmm.
recommends that if you have games you want to download or content you want to move to a Wii U, do it while you still can.
All right.
Is the Wii does the Wii U have its own shop, or is this just
Maybe
or
is
does each
maybe that's the
console?
deal.
Yeah, I
If
think they have their own.
okay, so if Wii U people are still active, then maybe this isn't such a big deal because I don't.
Still living in 2008.
Yeah. So well, get on it, Wii people, if you're listening to this.
Wee! Hate that name.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't really been a fan of a
Wii.
Nintendo console name since like N64. Uh,
Do you have a Nintendo Wii?
I had one. I sold it. But like that's the weird thing is like like I wasn't finding anything that was like hooking me into playing it. Like I always get the whatever the Smash Brother game is
Yeah, yeah. The
for the
Mario, the
console.
Zeldas.
Yeah, but then I'll play that to death and then kind of get bored and then I get irritated about the
The
fact
games
that
suck.
yeah, and I get irritated about the
The
fact that
games. I'll just say that right now. The games suck.
yeah, and they're not putting out any wrestling games for it. So then I get aggravated. So I sold it. So
The game that I played the most was the goddamn Wii Sports, the bowling and the
really,
fucking tennis and the and the golf.
somebody brought that to work one day and for like a party, and it was fun. I was like, hey, why don't I play this? It was like, oh yeah, I sold this system. I don't think I ever had Wii Sports anyway. I can't
Did it
remember.
come with the thing?
I think I don't know if my bundle that I got came with a game or it came with something different, but I don't think I had Wii Sports. Um, but yeah, so if I had that, then maybe I would have kept it a little longer because like every like 6 months or so, that would have been a fun thing to pull out and play. But
Yeah.
uh, as what I had, I didn't have anything that was hooking me into keeping the console. Uh,
Wii Sports and Mario Kart.
I've never really been a Mario Kart fan. I just don't like racing games, and the Mario hook never made me interested enough to keep going with it. It's fun when you have a bunch of people around, but like generally,
It's
I
not
don't
a
think I
solo
ever.
game.
Yeah, I never owned it on my own. I played it when I went to a summer camp where they had video games, and I played it a lot there because they
It's
were
very
late.
fun with multiple players.
Yeah, it's their lazy ass summer camp. They didn't want to take us outside to just play video games.
Video
But
game. Okay, you go to a summer camp with video
yeah,
games.
it was a really crappy summer camp, and dude, it was like it was a store in a storefront, and it was like a bootleg karate school slash summer
Joe,
camp. Yeah, so it was really lazy, and I shouldn't have been there.
did you
I
did
spent
you
far
have
too
to
much
wear
time there.
did you have to wear a gi?
No, I think we just did they we did our little training or whatever, and um, we just did it in our regular clothes, and we were supposed to be like on a regular schedule, and since I'm not saying names, I'll go into a little more detail because it was an interesting story behind this camp, but and I won't even say where it was because you could probably
Who cares? It
figure
was
it out.
decades ago.
Yeah, but it was they were supposed to be on a regular schedule because it's like the husband
May
and
not even
wife.
exist.
Yeah, the husband and wife they own the camp. The husband was supposed to be the karate or the taekwondo guy, and the wife was in charge of the summer camp. So she was the one that we saw the most, and then like our schedule, like the
I
martial
start
arts
scam.
training, yeah, it started to fall off, and then we just stopped seeing the husband
Honey, I have a
altogether.
way we can make a second income.
Yeah, uh, we stopped seeing David, who was the karate guy, and we stopped seeing him, and we just like it ended up just being a summer camp. There was no like karate or whatever, and
You
find
should
out
get a
later.
refund.
Yeah, find out later that it was I think the camp ended up shutting down, and found out that the husband was a drug addict. So it's like that's why
I was
he just
about to say, oh,
disappeared.
they were selling drugs. I was
Uh,
just joke.
no, I think he just got strung out, and then we just like he his
So,
his
so just
martial arts
the
training
way
practice fell apart with it.
the karate way, like it didn't help him fight his demons. His
No,
black belt.
I don't know if he's
He he,
fully. Yeah, I
he
don't
was
know if he fully.
snorting coke on his black belt.
Yeah, it's like oh, I feel like I can punch through a wall, but I can't. But I'm gonna keep doing it until my knuckles turn bloody. But yeah,
He can see the dragon.
he was
I
chasing the
am the
dragon.
dragon.
I think that's what you call it. He was riding the white horse, chasing the dragon. Sounds like Game of Thrones. Anyway,
Anyway,
uh,
I can't believe like you don't like Mario Kart or Mario RPG.
Mario
What is wrong with
RPG is
you?
the worst.
I love
betrayal
that
I've
game.
ever experienced.
What
I
the hell are you
felt
expecting? It's
I
called
felt
Super Mario RPG. You know
I
what
had no idea
RPG
what
stands
arch.
for?
That's how I learned what RPG stood for. I learned the hard way. I was like, "What is RPG?" Maybe it's like, I didn't know. I thought it was something like RPM. I was like, "Oh, it's just going real fast or something."
You're expecting like a side-scrolling classic Mario game, but instead you got like a Final
Just walking
Fantasy
around talking to
points
people. It's like, what is
system.
this? Like, like
Did you had you ever played Final Fantasy before? You
no, and
played?
it never interested me. Aside from like the the wallpapers from Final Fantasy that people used on Black Planet back in the day. Nothing from Final Fantasy looked remotely interesting to me. So,
SquareSoft, the people who make Final Fantasy,
is it
they
Squaresoft or Square
developed this
Enix?
game, or I think it's SquareSoft.
Okay, but yeah,
Like I
that
let me confirm that.
yeah, because it was. I always hear people talk about Final Fantasy, but nobody ever like really explains what it is to me. Like I've seen gameplay of one of the recent games, and I think it was like a bunch of guys in tuxedos running through the desert trying to get to a wedding. It's one of the recent games I've seen. It's like, wait, what is this game about? Uh, but yeah, I've never really been sold on it. Like any games that require
Square is the name of
Square is just Square.
the.
Okay, but yeah, I've never really been sold on it. Like, what is the? How would you describe Final Fantasy?
It's like you get through the game by like one of the spells and then different other skills and stuff. It's a points based system. Like the more like experience points you get, the more things you can like buy, and the more like,
Okay,
spells and powers you can obtain, and just
so
kind of like
what?
get through the game. And
So do you fight anybody at any point?
yeah, like I mean that whole system that you that was in Super Mario RPG where you take turns and you
Oh,
like you pick which attack you want to use. That's pretty much what it is.
so it's like
I
you have to use an attack that's powerful enough to beat somebody when it's your turn, but you can't just like you can't like button mash your way to a win.
I haven't played any of the modern Final Fantasy.
Okay.
That's how it was in like the old like NES and SNES versions.
Okay.
I'm a Nintendo man or a Zelda man.
Yeah, I've never been interested in like turn-based games, period. Because there was like in terms of mobile games, because like this is what I play the most. But in terms of mobile games, like I like Marvel Contest of Champions, but just a really like lazy tap 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 punch game, and once
Button
you
masher.
yeah, and then when you charge up your powers, and you can use your powers. But there's another game that's called Marvel. I'm trying to think what the hell is the name of that one. But there's another Marvel game, Future Fight, and
Okay.
the graphics for that one are actually better, and you can actually it's like open world kind of. But the thing I don't like about that is like when it's time to fight, it's turn based, and that's what the just that aspect alone made me uninstall it. It's like I don't want to take turns making attacks. It seems stupid. Like when you, I wanted something, anything that's closer to the real situation. Like if you watch the Avengers, they're not gonna all fire on Ultron and then be like, okay, your turn.
Well, it's a mobile game because they have limitations and stuff.
But I mean, Contest of Champions doesn't have that limitation. You can like if somebody hits you first, then they could beat you, but you gotta be quicker on the draw. So, I mean, I understand it. Like if you're looking at it through the perspective, like okay, this is what you would do if you're playing like a dice game or board game version of this, but like that doesn't interest me. It's too Dungeons and Dragonsy for me. Like, oh, I use this attack. It's worth 30 hit points. You only have 27 health points, so I win. It's like, yeah, I don't like math that much. But maybe that's my
You thought
problem.
you had it bad getting Super Mario RPG for Christmas. I asked for and I got this game called Mario is Missing for the SNES.
That
I
sounds
think that was like
familiar.
93, 92.
Okay.
It's like an educational game.
It's like
where
Carmen
Luigi
Sandiego.
is. It's kinda. It's like Luigi has to like go around the world answering these fucking history questions
That's exactly
get
like Carmen Sandiego, I
pe-
think.
to
Um,
get pieces of like different monuments, defeat bosses to save Mario.
yeah, that doesn't sound.
It's as fun as it sounds.
That's the one
So
problem.
you
Is That's the problem back in the day where we wouldn't see like commercials for every game that we got.
exact
It's
trial
just
by
like,
error, man.
yeah, it's just like you go and
Taking
look at the
chances.
cover. It's like, hey, Mario's on here. I'm gonna buy this. That's how I was sold on Super Mario RPG. Like, I didn't watch like 40 YouTube videos telling me exactly what this game was gonna be before I bought it. I just like looked at the cover. I was like, okay, Mario. I was totally caught off guard.
Sometimes I feel bad that I made my mom spend like $60 on fucking
60
games,
bucks at
those
pop, yeah.
expensive fucking games.
I think yeah,
Those Super Nintendo cartridges were expensive, man.
oh yeah. And it was funny because my brother, I think at the time, I don't know if it was at the same time, but I know my brother when he was originally playing like the first PlayStation, Dreamcast, Xbox, around that time, he was like in and out of GameStop or what was it called at the EB Games or Funco Land. He was at Funco Land like every month, like selling his old games, getting new games. And I was always like, "What? Like, why would you sell them? Like, don't you want to have a collection? Don't you want to have a huge bookcase full of games?" But like Super Mario RPG was the first game I was like, "I'm gonna sell this." It's like I don't want this game anymore because I don't think I could return it. Uh, but I was like, I'm going to Funco Land, and I can't remember what I got for it, but I'm sure it was like a fraction of the price. It's always their tactic. Um, but yeah, it's game talk on the
What
Frustrated
was the
Grad
last
podcast.
video game you've purchased?
Uh, I guess it would just be WWE 2K17. I got that at GameStop used, so I've been playing that ever since. So I'm probably gonna get 2K18 when it comes out, or sometime after it comes out when I can buy it used. But that's what I spend most of my time playing these days. I have seen your gameplay videos of Cuphead, and that looks fun. It's like it's looks like it's right in my wheelhouse of what I
I
like.
hadn't even like existence of it until maybe like a month ago. I was like, hey, this game looks innovative. Like I've never seen anything like it before. Like I'm gonna buy that. I
Yeah.
haven't regretted the purchase.
So is it because I saw because they call it like a run and gun game, but you're not just constantly running, right? You control.
No.
Okay.
It's not like Super Mario Run. It's not a
Okay.
runner.
Okay.
It's pretty much a side scroller.
Yeah, because when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, like, where has this game been all my life? Like, because I love how the graphics are kind of like Felix the Cat animation. Like
Yeah,
Felix the
like
Cat,
Max
kind of Woody
Fleischer,
Woodpecker.
1930s
Yeah.
cartoon.
So I love that
Yeah.
aesthetic. And yeah, the side scroller. Like I said, when I describe like how limited my gameplay view is, like that's exactly what I've been looking for years. Like I always look for
And it's
Mario
only
clones.
1999.
Yeah, because I always look for like Mario clones, and then like depending on the aesthetic is what would turn me off. Like uh, Earthworm Jim, decent game, but it's very ugly. Like so, like I just didn't want to play it that much. I'm trying to think. Rayman was like the most prominent one of those like side scroller like next generation games, but it's just like it's ugly. So, but
So
this one
many
looks.
fucking like Mario like Mario clone games where video game companies tried to like make their own like mascot for the company. I'm trying to think. There
The
was this one character.
There's one mobile game. It's Lep's World. So it's just a leprechaun running around, which is
But what
like
was like the one? It was like a cat character.
it sounds
I think
familiar. It
it
was a
was, I don't know
console
if it was.
game.
Yes, was it like on the Sega or like one of the later consoles, like the mid to late '90s. I forgot the name of
I can't
it
remember a
already,
cat,
but
but I know there's
it was like their attempt at like a
I know Crash Bandicoot was kind of like that, but it was a side
Yeah,
scrolling.
yeah.
Well, I guess some of it was side scrolling. I actually like Crash Bandicoot. I know this one was slightly different, but it was kind of they were kind of going for the same thing with Spyro the Dragon, although you could fly, so that made it better. Um, but yeah, there's been a lot of those like attempts at being like we're gonna be the next one. Like Sonic was the best probably of those original ones because it was like
The most successful one.
hmm. But yeah, I feel like the Cuphead looks like it's right in my wheelhouse. I'm gonna disconnect with you really quick and call back because it seems like it's chopping up a little bit. Um,
Yes, it is. Try
so
to power through, but
all right, I'll be right back. So I'm gonna reconnect with Tony and see if this sounds better because we're going to continue our conversation about Cuphead because it's a good game. Although we're probably not going to continue. We're going to move on to something else. Don't mind the ringing in your ears. It's just,
can you hear me?
yes, you're back. Um, the listeners were entertained by some funky Skype beats. Uh, but now we're back to the topic at hand. What's next on the docket?
Uh, Family Matters reunion.
Yeah.
It was a photo shoot reunion put together by Entertainment Weekly.
Speaking of things only
I'm just
90s
now
kids will remember.
exactly. I'm just now like hearing about this. I didn't know that this had happened, but apparently Jamie Foxworth, who we mentioned last week, was not
Yeah.
invited.
Which he has.
I uh, I wonder why.
She doesn't exist anymore. She went up to her room and she just disappeared. So it's interesting the timing of this. Like they've
And they never
just
mentioned her again.
yeah. It's funny they just announced like demolition plans for the house and then they do this photo shoot. But it looks like I've seen like I saw one photo from it. It looked like they just had some weird set that looked kind of like the house. But why didn't they take photos at the house? Like it was probably their last chance. Or did they go there at all?
I don't
I'm
know,
assuming
but
it was probably more convenient to do this in LA or wherever they ended up shooting these photos. Um,
well they have all of the family members had a member of the Winslow family. He's Eddie's friend, but there's no Judy Winslow. What happened to Judy?
yeah, she's just she just she fell into a wormhole when she walked up those stairs, never to be seen again. Um, I think it's
Uh,
sad, but these these things happen. She's tainted the name of the Winslow family, so now she's the black sheep.
even more so than uh, after. Let me read this paragraph. After seeing the EW cover with the original cast of Family Matters, social media had one question: where's Judy? So Judy and found her. Now a mother of a son, and just putting the final touches on her book about growing up as a child star, Foxworth wasn't at all shocked to see the cover. Although she received her walking papers from the show, she's still close with the actors on the show, including
Hmm.
Sean Harrison, who played hilariously uh, Fuldo. Uh, I was not invited at all. I wasn't even contacted. Foxworth said in the root.
Hmm.
Sean Waldo sent me a text 2 days before it
Waldo
was
Faldo.
released. He asked if anyone contacted me, and he just wanted to let me know that EW contacted them to do a reunion cover. And he just didn't want me to be
I
shocked.
mean, that was nice of him, but still was what it was.
The people people in the picture are more important than the picture itself. It was like an affection mentioned briefly. I don't think there's any good explanation if they want to use adult films. That's the reason. I'm not the first person to do adult films, and won't be the last. Fox said.
So I mean, you're the first person on that cast to do it. Uh, Unless there's some Urkel tape that we don't know about.
Purple
Uh,
porn.
yeah, I
Uh,
mean, that would have sold more than hers, I'm sure. But, you know,
uh, so why did Judy's character get cut from the show to begin with?
yeah.
Well, it could have a lot to do with White's character because
See, you're cutting out again on me. Let's try this one more time. See if you can adjust your settings or anything while I try to reconnect or maybe change your position. But I'll be right back to you. So we are having some straight up technical difficulties on the Frustrated Grad podcast. Um, Bear with us, but I'll say as I try to reconnect right here that I don't think it's a good look for them to be cutting out Jamie like that. It's not okay. It's not good, and you know, I wish her the best in her future endeavors. Uh, but yeah, I'm waiting to reconnect with Tony, and I will resume his audio now. The thing is ringing, and I thought you might not want to hear that loud in your headphones as I'm reconnecting. So let's see how this goes. Tony is ringing, and you're back. Hopefully, this is a better connection. I actually had to turn the volume down so people didn't hear the ringing. I don't want Skype to come after me for royalties for us banging that sweet tune.
that's sweet, sweet music.
Yeah. But yeah, poor Jamie. Hopefully she's doing all right with her porn and book money.
The millions and millions she got from porn, all of the anal sex and
Yeah, you know that pays more, I think.
blowjobs and facials.
Yeah, I I I know what happens. I, I understand. I've heard.
You've
Uh,
heard, you
yeah,
haven't seen.
heard on the street. Uh, heard
The
around the water
street
cooler.
on your laptop.
No, no, that's not something I partake in. Anyway, speaking of gross things that belong to others that you might not want to touch, what might you be touching if you grab someone else's coffee cup?
Their poop, maybe. It actually like
Also,
makes it, it actually makes sense because if you're like in an office and you've got your coffee mugs and like people are like going to the bathroom and like some of them are washing their hands, some of them aren't washing their hands, and all of those germs and stuff that travel. So it would make sense that 20% of coffee cups in the office kitchens will be coated in germs such as fecal matter,
the one thing
according
I
to a
think
new
is
study.
gross is in the past I've worked in an environment where they didn't have like a kitchen available to everyone, and people would like fill up the coffee pot with water from the bathroom sink. It's the most
Ew.
disgusting thing I could ever imagine.
Oh God.
So, I don't. Yeah,
Why the bathroom? Why not the
Ex-
kitchen?
no, I'm saying like in a place where I've worked where they didn't have a kitchen,
Oh,
or some companies are big enough where like there's a kitchen on the one floor, you have to like get on an elevator to go there or whatever, or it's just like certain departments if you work in a large company don't have their own dedicated kitchen. People do stuff like that, or they'll pour out their coffee cup in the bathroom sink. I always think anything related to that is just gross. So, like in those situations, I could definitely see how there's poop particles in your coffee cup. Uh,
I mean, and then they talk about like just on like the germs on your hands that get transferred to like phones and like you know just on like the doorknobs and all the other areas. And it's not just
yeah,
it's not just offices that they say like fast food chains, public pools,
Uh,
gym weights, dollar
Wait,
bills.
well, yeah. I mean, you have to think of that's that's the really gross thing to think about. Is like in fast food place, you're more likely to see that than anywhere else because there's a smaller uh, distance between the bathroom and the kitchen. Because like, okay, sure, if you work at a regular workplace, it's not that's not focused around cooking. You're gonna have a small little kitchen that's just made for heating up stuff. But like, people come out of their bathroom at a fast food place, they're pretty much walking directly into the kitchen, so they're taking whatever they're bringing out of the bathroom with them. Even though it says all employees must wash hands, uh,
That's the key.
and uh, and sometimes it'll say dot dot dot, especially you, Carl. But it's it's just not a there's not a lot of safeguards against that. It's like you need to have like a cleanliness monitor, like standing at the door, like, did you wash your hands? Like
Did
parents will
you
do to their kids.
did you ever wash your hands all the time when you were working at the Colonel at KFC?
Absolutely, especially like if I was gonna like dip my hands into that flour because the secret to how they make it extra crispy is
Shit.
that no, that's not where I was going. The secret is that they flour it, they dip it in water, and then they flour it again. So it's a very messy process, and you got a lot of stuff on your hands. So it makes you very aware of like, hey, if my hands weren't clean, this would be totally gross right now. Like, because then I would taint the entire batch of flour. So I was very conscious of washing my hands, and I actually washed them. Uh, I would wash them in the like if I was coming out of the bathroom, I washed them there. I don't think during my 6 hour shift that I did washing dishes slash cooking chicken. I usually didn't even use the bathroom, but if I did, I would wash my hands in the bathroom, and then I would wash them again in the scalding hot water for the dishwashing area because I always had a higher tolerance for like super hot water. So it's just like I would wash them there before I cooked chicken specifically. But I know a lot of people aren't as diligent about that type of stuff. So like if I think about that, it'll turn me off from eating at a lot of places because I could just look at certain people like, I bet you didn't wash your hands like you should.
Judgy, judgy, judgy.
Oh, it's judgy, but I have specifically seen like at a sit down restaurant, I've been in the restroom like, okay, I'm gonna go wash my hands before I eat because I just do that. Like if I've been out all day and I go straight to a restaurant, like I'm gonna wash my hands after I order. And I've seen someone with the uniform of whatever the restaurant was, and they just walk straight past me out the door. I'm like, wait a minute. Uh, okay, I'm like that. That kind of put me off, and I lost my appetite a little bit after. It's like no, didn't even look at the sink. He just walked straight out. I was like, all right. Mm.
Fecal matter could survive for days or weeks on surfaces, so washing your hands is imperative before you eat or drink anything and before you touch your face. Uh,
What
according to
one thing I want to learn about is how does fecal matter survive a deep fryer? Uh,
fried poop,
yeah, I want to know if that's a good enough way to kill the bacteria.
by dipping it in the
Yeah, a fried
grease.
yeah, fried poop sandwich. Poop boy, poop po boy. Anyway,
Anywho, staying on the not necessarily the poop theme, but the lowbrow theme. Would you be interested in a cream-filled penis waffle?
um, that sounds like fighting words to me. No, I would not be interested in that.
A cream-filled penis waffle.
No,
It's
no,
it's
thank you.
just a waffle,
It,
Zach.
anything that starts with the phrase cream filled penis, whatever you say after that, I'm not gonna eat it. Like it's point blank period. Finish and clar, as they say in South Africa. I'm not gonna do that. Uh, what?
A
Where is this
restaurant is
being served?
making a restaurant is making a lot of dough with a dish that is both tasty and tasteless. A penis-shaped waffle. The phallic food products are sold at a food stall in Bangkok, appropriately named
Stall.
Pho. Fo ha ma, which means I got it from my dad in English.
From my dad. That doesn't make it any better.
No, it
Okay.
does not. Each cockeyed creation. Now I see what the writer of this article is doing.
Yeah.
Each
That's
cockeyed
that's the only
creation.
point of why this article is written. Was like I can come up with like 15 puns for this. Let's write an article.
Each cockeyed creation is stuffed with sausage and cheese and comes with a variety of sauces, such as ketchup, mayonnaise, or chocolate, according to Next Shark. The dick,
Chocolate.
sh- the dick-shaped desserts sell for around the equivalent of around $1.20, as cheap, or about 20 cents per inch. A video of the penis
What?
pastry went
Jesus.
viral. This is from the Huffington Post, by the way.
Of course it
Video
is.
of the penis pastries went viral on Facebook last week, garnering around more than 19 million views. Since then, it seems the world has beaten a path or something else to the eatery. As might be predicted, emphasis on dick, the waffles are arousing controversy. One well-known Thai chef is urging a boycott of the sex organ snack on moral grounds. Why would you
Ugh.
buy this for your? Why would
I'm
you buy
looking
this
at
for
the
your parents?
pictures.
Why would you put this in a monk's alms bowl? If a girl age 7 or 8 was eating it on the street, is that something you want to see? Sure, it would make me laugh. He told Thai news website KO English. However, the woman who runs the restaurant doesn't know what's eating these people. Some people told me that. Uh, some people told me that I'm doing something obscene and un-Buddhist. She told the website, I just want people to view it as a snack.
Uh, no, thank you. that's, that's all I'll say about it. Just looking at some of the the pictures of people eating it, and just like, it's just disturbing. And the veins are not like I don't appreciate that.
It's very lifelike. I give
Just
them credit for
it's very gross. Um, yeah. It's is there something else we could end on that's not that? Uh,
that.
what
Dick
else?
related.
I mean,
The ball is in your court.
I
The
mean
choice is yours.
the people who might partake in this cream filled uh, confection may be on the high side of the spectrum. Uh, Speaking of stoners,
Oh yeah.
here's what is a good food destination for stoners? This is you found from Leafly, which is a pot enthusiast website.
I
What
gather.
does that say about you, Mr. Hoffman?
I
Uh,
don't actually smoke weed. I drink alcohol on occasion, but never been never been a huge stoner
I
or
do not
smoker at all.
I do not partake in any of the recreational
Do you feel
drugs.
like you're missing out?
Not really. And just based on the people I know who do, like, yeah, I'd rather be more productive and have my
You're
faculties
a
about
narc.
me.
You're a square. You're an undercover police officer,
Yeah, I'm a narc. Yeah,
right?
I'm taking notes. Um, okay,
You want to
so
know the most popular fast food destinations for hungry stoners?
yeah, according to Cannabis Freakonomics,
Cannabis
apparently,
Freakonomics. Green Market Report partnered with consumer research around cannabis to analyze multiple fast food marketplaces in areas with both a sizable population and legal cannabis. The result, while Taco Bell's late night munchies practically feel like a stoner stereotype, they are no match for the iconic Golden Arches.
oh, of
Uh,
course,
over
they're more
43% of adults,
ubiquitous.
and they're cheaper.
Yeah,
Over 43% of adults polled who recently purchased legal cannabis visited a McDonald's within 4 weeks of their dispensary purchase. Taco Bell, on its ridiculously huge menu, came in second with just over 18% of cannabis consumers making a run for the border.
With
Granted,
tangent
McDonald's,
real quick.
go for it.
Taco Bell's menu really irritates me, especially as somebody who doesn't eat beef. Like, I feel like I'm being discriminated against when I look at their menu. Like, because
They
all
have
the
chicken and like they have like beans and rice
the
and
problem
stuff,
is when you order, like, you can't order a special
potatoes.
meal or anything, because like all of their meals are, they either have like whatever the main taco is, like quesarito box. It'll be the
Yeah.
quesarito and 2 hard shell tacos, and they don't let you substitute the meat in the hard shell taco. So it's like, well, I can't order that meal
You
then.
can't. You can order like just a quesarito by itself, or
Yeah, but it's like I have to piece stuff together if I want to do it.
yeah,
So,
that's very true.
yeah, so it's like I'm in a drive-through. I don't want to do all this thinking, especially if I'm ordering for 2 or more people. So I'm just like, forget it. I'll just do 6 cheesy chicken quesadillas, and that's all I eat from Taco Bell because it's easy to remember. It's like, well, I'm not gonna piece together like, okay, I want this, and then I want this. Replace this with chicken, and then, do you have this in chicken? No, okay, I get this. I just order whatever I can say
I've struck a
quicker.
nerve.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very triggered by Taco Bell. Like I have to
Have you
go
noticed that
inside if
like
I actually want to have something decent.
have you noticed that like some of the stuff they have is it's like the same thing, it just has a different name.
Yeah,
Like
and like I just thought about another thing. I used to love the Mexican pizza at Taco Bell, but like
never had it.
it's only beef, so I can never eat it again. Like if they had a chicken Mexican pizza, I would bathe in them. But they don't. So I
I
feel
rarely sit down and actually eat in a Taco Bell, so the stuff that I get is usually stuff that I can like eat on the run, like portable. That's
yeah,
why I always avoid like their like messy nachos and like
yeah.
quesadillas and anything that gets
Yeah,
messy.
I tried to eat a quesadilla in the car. It was not a
Disgusting, I
pretty
know, right?
sight.
Jesus
Uh,
Christ.
yeah. Um, but anyway, back to the list.
Right back to
Uh,
the list. McDonald's has nearly 15,000 locations in the U.S. compared to Taco Bell's 7,000. So consumers may find it more likely to and convenient to find a nearby
yeah,
McDonald's. Subway, however, has almost 27,000 uh, locations. Yet pickish owners prefer Burger King, which has 7,500 locations, or Wendy's, 57 locations over a foot long sub.
of course,
So
because like also like if they're going out in the middle of the night, Subway's not gonna be open. Um, and like I think I've only seen like 2 actual drive-through Subways in my life. So like anywhere that doesn't have a drive-through, you're not gonna get as many stoners frequenting the place
there you go.
because it's about convenience. Uh, I am interested in going to a drive-through Subway. I just want to know how it works. I'm just curious,
How the fuck
like
would you
okay, I
just
want
pick
this, this.
your lettuce? I want tomato. I want this. I want that.
Yeah, like
You'll be the slowest damn
do you
drive
get
through
the
ever.
pleasure of watching it like you do inside? Like, do they have just a huge drive-through window? You just drive along the side. Uh, yeah, I'm really interested just in the mechanics of it, the logistics of how all that works. But you know, Subway isn't my
Watch the
top place to
sandwich
get a
artist.
sandwich anyway.
Yeah,
I prefer
yeah. I'm
submarine
not a big
port
Subway.
in South Holland.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a place that I go to if like there's nothing else better,
yeah,
and I'm stuck.
especially when now that they've really de-emphasized the $5 foot long. Is like why would I even go in here now if they're like 6.50? It's like you've lost me. Um, anyway, so those are pretty much the top five. So Subway is number five uh, out of that list. So they're lucky they made it. Period. McDonald's is like winning by a mile though. But yeah, so that
Quantity over quality.
yeah, absolutely. That's the McDonald's motto. Because anytime they have something that's really good on their menu, there's like, you know what? It's not fast enough. Let's get rid of this. Let's just strip all the ingredients off of this that people love and let's start over. But yeah, with me now craving fast food, uh, we should probably wrap it up. So where can
You're
people
gonna go. You're gonna go for that cream-filled penis waffles.
know? Uh, I would not travel nor be seen in public eating anything of the sort. uh,
It just
although
looks like a penis. It doesn't taste like.
Although, if you wanted to talk about like travel friendly foods, like just holding like a a penis pastry is probably like easy to eat while driving, but
Yeah,
still, that's not gonna sell me on it. I'll just eat a corn dog.
vulgar yet practical.
Yeah, I'll eat a corn dog if I want a practical phallic snack. Practical phallic snack. That's a good episode title, by the way. Anyway, let's just wrap up the episode and let people know where they can reach out to you with their photos of them enjoying a Belgian penis waffle.
Women only. It's at find me on Twitter at Anthony Hoffman, Facebook Anthony Hoffman. Just search Anthony Hoffman, and my Instagram is at Tony Hoffman Shot. Tony Hoffman CHI.
And I am on the Twitter at Zach Reviews. That's ZAC Reviews. I'm on YouTube at youtube.com/Zach Hughes. I'm on Instagram if you want to see the few posts that I have up there. It's ZH Radio. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at Frustrated Grad. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/Frustrated Grads. And you can check out the audio version of the podcast on Twitter, iTunes, Google Play Podcasts, and Stitcher. If you like what we're doing, go to Apple Podcasts, or iTunes as I call it. Give us a 5-star rating. If you really like what we're doing, go to frustratedgrad.com and hit that donate button to donate via PayPal. Anyway, that's it for anybody watching the video. Thanks for watching, and that's all you get for today.